It's getting to crunch time in the 2026 high school recruiting class. We're going to talk about where does Kentucky stand with some of their top recruits. Who do we think Kentucky lands in this class? That is going to be the discussion on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash. Carson, it's Friday. How are we feeling?
Feeling great. You know, it's almost the weekend. We got a couple more hours till weekend time. So always feeling great on a Friday morning. And, you know, the Cats got another one at home this weekend. Should be fun. Center Colonels are at home this weekend playing. So it should be a fun weekend.
I think it's a much more significant game for the Center Colonels than it is for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yes, sir.
On the way this weekend's shaping out. But recruiting is something that we want to talk about, you know, we talked about Stokes a couple days ago, but we said we wanted to talk about recruiting more as a whole. And, you know, there's a lot of players that Coach Pope is in on right now, a lot of great players, a lot of elite 5-star guys. And I think that the first name that we need to talk about is Deron Rippy Jr. That's the guy. And I mean, listen, Tay Kinney just put out his commitment date. It's the 28th, I believe. He ain't coming to Kentucky. He's not. That ship has sailed. Little surprising, I think, based off of 6 months ago. You know, I find it to be a little surprising, but it's recruiting. It's fluid. It's how the cookie crumbles. That's just how that stuff goes. So, Rippy Jr. for me in the backcourt, Carson, should be the full focus of this coaching staff because he's a stud, and I think we're in a great spot for him. But it sounds like Duke is going to make a hard push after him too. So Coach Pope is going to have to go toe to toe with some heavy hitters to land this guy. So where do you think we kind of sit with Rippy Jr., Carson?
Yeah, I like how you said we needed to go hard for this guy because I think the coaching staff knows that. I mean, we visited him twice already since the period's been open. They're putting most of their eggs in the point guard basket of Ron Rippy Jr. So I think we really value this guy, and he's explosive. He can shoot. He can do everything you want in a point guard. But yeah, like you said, we're going to be in a blue blood battle against Duke for this guy. So we're going to have to put on the full court press. And I think our coaching staff, as much as it was weird that Tay Kinney has not been super UK heavy, I think our coaching staff values Ron Rippy Jr. over Tay Kinney by a substantial margin, in my opinion. So I think we're putting all our eggs in this basket, and I'm not mad about it because I think Deron Rippy Jr. also, he likes Kentucky. He likes this place. So I don't think it's a bad idea, and I really want this kid. I think he's the best point guard in the class.
Yeah. And, I mean, as you said, we've been out to see him a bunch of times. And that's an important part of this. You have to go see these recruits. You have to go – you want to annoy them. I mean, you want these recruits to be like, gosh, darn it, man, Mark Pope's calling me again. You know what I mean? You want to annoy them with how much you're investing into each of these players. And I do agree with you. And this is not – we're not coping. Tay Kinney's a great player too. I'd have been happy with Tay Kinney, but it just did seem like while they were still in the recruitment, they're obviously out of it now, but while they were still kind of in it, they pivoted over toward Rippy Jr., which was a little surprising because, I mean, it looks like Tay Kinney, if I was guessing right now, is going to end up at Kansas. And I think Louisville's probably a close second for
Kansas stole their fish.
Yeah, but
Louisville had a fish on the line, and Kansas came in and
it was like it's like you're saltwater fishing, and they had a good fit mahi on, and they were reeling it in, and then there comes a shark, boom, and just eats it off your hook.
Bill Self come and just eats it.
And then, of course, you're not going to reel the shark in because it's going to rip the line. So, I mean, you lost it all. You lost your line, you lost your sinker, you lost your hook, you lost your rig, and you lost your fish. And that's what just happened to Louisville, it looks like.
Such a shame.
Yeah, darn. But man, there was something wrong. But you know, I do think that says a lot. I mean, I don't think we're trying to, like I said, cope. Oh, we didn't get Kinney. I would have loved to have Kinney. I love the whole, you know what I mean? We like Kinney. he's a great player. He's going to be great wherever he goes. And he's a good marketer. I mean, he's a young man that's made a lot of money already, kind of branding himself, and he's a smart kid. And but I think that this staff, like you said, Carson said, it was always Deron Rippy Jr. I think that's what this staff said to themselves. Now, Coach Pope going to see Kinney when that whatever thing opened a couple weeks ago was a little weird. And you and I talked about how that was kind of a little weird a couple weeks ago, and it was like, if you're putting all of your eggs in the Rippy Jr. basket, why are you going to see him the second the thing opens? Find that interesting, but I still do think
it could have been. I also, looking back on it, I think it could have been location based too, just because he was super close to them already.
Yeah, that could play a huge role in it too. But I still think, despite that visit, that it's always been Rippy Jr. or bust for this staff over the last 5 months for sure. So that's where we kind of stand with Rippy Jr. What about Tyran Stokes, Carson? I think a lot of people have a lot of confidence in this. I'm not saying I lack confidence, but this has been a quiet one, man. You know what I mean? Tay Kinney's recruitment, Rippy Jr. seems a lot louder. It's just something about Stokes' recruitment, which is weird knowing he's the number one guy, seems to be a little bit more quiet. Who are the top dogs for him? And how do you feel about our chances here?
Yeah, he's more of a mystery. He doesn't come out and speak about all of his teams as much. But I still feel firm that the Wildcats are leading this recruitment. Now it's not finished at all, and like we say all the time, recruiting is fluid here. I think the two teams behind Kentucky in this race are Oregon and Arkansas. I think both of those teams. Stokes hear me out, because you saw Tay Kinney go to Kansas. Part of that was because of Adidas. Yeah. So part of this is Stokes is a Nike kid, and Nike's going to do anything they can to get him at one of their big schools. And so I feel good about Kentucky and Oregon being the two top schools right now. But I do favor the Wildcats as of right now in this recruitment.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I think that we are in the lead right now. And it's now a matter of finishing the job. We have seen Coach Pope too. If you want to hear me, toss a negative at Coach Pope, which I struggle to do. I think that he has been in it for some elite recruits. And I mean, he's gotten in it and for some elite recruits and just not gotten the job done, and I think a great example of that would be Caleb Wilson. I think that's probably the best example of this. But really want to see him get this done, because I know that Stokes is technically a Kentucky kid. He's from here. He's a Louisville kid. He's out there in California right now playing his prep ball. But I don't, and we've talked about it. We want the narrative to go away that Pope could only recruit Kentucky kids. I don't care. And Carson, you can go ahead and do your spiel on this. I don't care where you come from. If you're the number one recruit and we land you, I'll take it. Don't care where you come from. Don't care.
Like I've said in previous podcasts, I don't care if he was born on the court of Rupp Arena. If he is the number one recruit and you get him to come to Kentucky, it will always be a win, no matter what.
I don't care if he was born during Big Blue Madness on the court.
While John Ball was dancing.
Yes, I don't care. I still want to go and get this kid. So I think we're in a good spot right now. And I think we got a job to finish. Job's not finished. So that's what did Kobe say?
Job's not done.
Job's not done yet. You're up 2-0. Job's not done.
Whatever
it was. But point is, it's not done. And Coach Pope's got to stick in there and get this taken care of and get this business handled, because I think this kid's a stud, and there's no better way to shut up the folks saying, hey, Pope can't recruit than going to get the number one kid in the class. That's the reality. So get this done. And I think he's going to. I think it's quiet. It's a quiet recruitment, but I like our chances.
I do too. I think it's saying something that we've spent all this time recruiting these other guys and we're not as super involved with Stokes right now. I think it means that we know where we're at in this recruitment, or else we would be full court pressing Tyran Stokes.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I like our or where we're at, and I think that's a great way to bring it up. So there's two more guys that we're going to talk a little bit about. Oh, there's three more guys, but the next one is Caleb Holt. I think Caleb Holt might be a name that Kentucky fans have heard because he's an elite recruit, but Kentucky fans might not, see us as a are we going to land him? You know what I mean? And I think we got a better shot with Caleb Holt than a lot of folks realize. Carson, where do you think we kind of sit here?
Yeah, I like Caleb Holt, and it seems like the coaching staff really likes Caleb Holt as well. It seems like one of those players that we're very involved with. I think his process may last longer than a couple of these other recruitments. So he's one of those guys that you can kind of wait and see. If you miss on one early, you can put all your eggs in the Caleb Holt basket. But I feel like Kentucky's in the top here. I think I wouldn't put him as a leader right now just because I feel like his recruitment's a little foggy right now. Yeah. But I would definitely put them in the top 3 teams that can compete to get him and have him play for them next year.
Yeah. So Wyatt Huff, who writes for me on my website, is one of the up and coming guys in the recruiting. Really, he's done a kick-arse job of late, but he got an interview with Holt's dad. And he's got a lot of great quotes from Holt's father. But, I mean, he had a lot of great things to say Holt's father did about – what are you laughing about? What did I say?
The way you pronounce great.
Oh, that was kind of like – yeah, that was funny. I heard it. I figured if we were laughing at. But he's a great recruit. Yeah. But so this is a good quote here. I've been to many SEC establishments, and they're all really nice, but Kentucky's, they have a standard like the Cowboys or Lakers in how they go about things. It seems like they have the resources, and they don't shy away from showing it in that regard. I mean, I just think that's cool to say. It just every time, and Wyatt's talked to Holt's dad a few times, and every time – and I get, could it be like not coach speak, dad speak of like, we're not going to rule anybody out. We're going to keep all of our doors open. We're not going to, but I mean, it does seem like their family's got a lot of interest in Kentucky. I agree with you on the fact that this recruitment's kind of been maybe a little more quiet, maybe a little more, we'll kind of see what happens.
I say both the Alabama schools and Kentucky, I feel like are the top 3 for that, for him. Auburn, Alabama, and Kentucky.
Is he an Alabama kid?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah. Yeah. He's from – oh, no. It says – well, no. He's from Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
He plays – I don't know. It says he's from – yeah, he's from New Market, Alabama. Okay.
Yeah, they all play prep ball somewhere else. I mean, Stokes plays in California.
No, exactly. But I'm saying sometimes it lists the prep school and then their actual hometown. And sometimes it doesn't. On 24/7. So this time it's not. It says he's in Fort Lottie. But he's from New Market, Alabama. But I think that we have a shot there. I mean, once again, this isn't the number 3 recruit in the class, ladies and gentlemen. This is not some random guy. This is the number 3 guy. So we'll see there. He's an interesting player because he's a 6'6" guard. I mean, what do you see him? I see him as or 6'5". I've seen him 6'6" somewhere. I see him more as a 2. I don't see him more as a ball handler. You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, geez almighty. So, but I like our chances there better than I think a lot of people imagine. The next guy, Carson, and I'll let you go more into depth on this guy, is Maximo Adams. Heck of a name. I want to root for Maximo. I want to. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
What do you think about this kid? Do we have a legit shot here?
Yeah. So Maximo plays for Sierra Canyon. He's a 6'7" small forward. But the coaching staff seems to be going and putting some eggs in this basket too, because his older brother played for Mark Pope at BYU. So this kid is not he knows who Mark Pope is. So he's very comfortable with Mark Pope, and I'm sure that this is a guy, if you miss on Caleb Holt, that you go after and you put all your eggs in this basket. This seems like one of those that I don't think our class is going to be any bigger than 4 guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like this guy is going to be one of those guys. If you miss on someone you like, you take this guy because he is good. He's 6'7". He can do pretty much everything on the court. He's a good ball player. And I like that we're going after him, and it's good that we already have family ties with him.
I agree with everything you said, but I think you're right. I don't know. I think the staff's going after this kid hard, and it can be deceiving because they're going to go after everybody hard, and then they're going to land who they're going to land. They're not going to like, well, we'll give you, you know what I mean? Like, but it seems like this, and Wyatt's interviewed this kid too, and it sounds like that there's a lot of mutual interest here, and I like where we sit for this kid. But I think you're right. The thing about him, he seems like one of those fast riser guys. On 24/7 Sports Composite, he's ranked 83rd, okay? But 24/7 Sports, their rankings, their individual rankings, has him 26th. So 25th, excuse me. So that means that somebody, Rivals, On3, ESPN, has this kid ranked really, really, really low. And I don't know which one it is, but people are starting to buy into him, and he will continue to rise up. I see him being a fringe 5-star when it's said and done, kind of like that 25 to 30 range in the class. A guy that no one should ever be afraid to take, for sure. And he's not
trending in the right direction at the right time. It's kind of like a Braden Hawthorne.
Exactly. And he's not, I wouldn't call this kid a project. He's a very good basketball player that's going to play a role at a good school. So, and then the last one that we want to talk about, what's this kid's name, Carson?
It's
go after
Arafan Diane or Diane. And he's a big guy. He's out of Iowa. He's about 7'1", and we're going to have some tough competitors with him as well, but it seems like the coaching staff likes him. Houston and Arkansas are also in for him. He's a big he has great touch around the rim. He's great. He's a great passer. He kind of embodies everything Mark Pope wants to do with that 5 position, be able to pass, be able to score inside. His outside jump shot needs some work, but he can kind of play like a little bit of that BG role that we've seen. I feel like he's good mobily. So he's a pretty good ball player, and I'd like to see us add him.
I like everything of this kid's got to offer frame-wise. He's a legit 7'1" with a 7'4" wingspan. He's near 300 pounds. I mean, like, this dude's a force, man. A force. I mean, this is not there's no 7'1", 225 in this kid, man. This kid is a move.
That's big diesel
trucker.
That's big diesel.
Yeah. And I mean, watching the film and reading the scouting report on this kid, I mean, he can protect the rim. He's got Adam Finkelstein says he's got some potential to pop out and make a jump shot, not what his game is. And he's the type of guy, I don't think that'll ever be what his game is. I mean, he's a big, strong mother trucker. Get out of my way. I'm dunking, and if you don't, you are going to be on a poster.
Yeah.
That he's like that type of guy. He's a rebounds, blocks, fluid around the rim. I noticed. I mean, he's not one of those. He is physically dominant, but he also does have some pretty post moves that, like, sometimes guys his size just say move. I don't need to do a post move, but he's got him, which is I'm also cool with him just saying move. I like this kid. I want this kid. I like tall, strong, I will kill you big guys. That was I will run through your face if you don't get out of the way. I love that. I like this kid a lot. This is another one that is I just have no idea what way this is going to go. So we'll see. We're in it. I like our chances, but this could go a lot of different directions. But this is one I want. I like this kid a lot. I think he's going to be special.
So. I've already got a nickname for him.
Let's hear it.
Big D.
Okay.
And then we can write on a side when we go and say, we've got a big D.
Yeah.
You don't.
Okay. I love it. I'm all for it. I'm all for that. I can get behind that. All right. We're going to talk a little bit of football. We will not as much previewing the Eastern Michigan game. More so talking about Mr. Cutter Boley just here for a minute before we call it a week. Carson, Cutter Boley is getting ready to get the nod on Saturday. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I like it. And I mean, part of this reason is because Zach's hurt. And we hope he gets better. But I'm excited for it. I mean, we thought that we should maybe start Cutter going into the season. I feel like starting him this early on seems to say that it's probably a bad thing for us that he's starting this early, but I like it. I think he can bring more to the table when it comes to getting outside the pocket, making more intermediate passes. Yeah. He just has more feel for the game, I think, than Zach does. Zach kind of overthinks things. Cutter's more of like, heck yeah, I see Willie down there. I'm just going to sling it. And then he just throws it. So, I think he's going to have a big game this weekend. Eastern Michigan's 0-2. They're not very good. They've lost to 2 bad teams already. Yeah. So it'll be a good warm-up game for Cutter, and then going into the bye week afterwards, and then you got South Carolina.
So this is interesting. Eastern Michigan just lost to Long Island, and that is a Long Island team that Florida just beat 55-0. So this should not be
we should put up 40 points in the first half.
Honestly, I'll tell you this, and I'm serious about this. It is disrespectful, and maybe rightfully so, but disrespectful that an SEC team has a line of 25.5 against this football team. I mean, every other team in this conference, that line is 42.5 points, and that says a lot about our offense. And we need Cutter Boley to come out here and cover that line handedly. But there's no reason for me to get too negative. We should have started Cutter from day one. I know that we put all the money and the investment in Calzada. I get it. I understand it. Cutter should have been the guy day one. I'll tell you this though, Carson. I mean, Calzada's hurt. You're right, but I think that he could play if he needed to play on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, I think he'll be available. I think he'll suit up. I think that they're going with Boley, and I would really like to see them stick with Boley. And the reason I say that is because, once again, I mean, the worst case scenario, he stinks and we've got to figure something out going forward. That's the worst case scenario. But he could also be really good, and we could find a way in a season that's starting to kind of trend in a negative direction. We could find a positive. And that is something that gets me that gets me quite fired up. Is the thought of we could see this kid be special, and we could have an exciting future for our football program for next season if he looks good over the rest of the season. If he looks bad, you're back to the drawing board and you're going, can we figure something out at this position? You've obviously got that kid coming in. I don't feel great about that kid not going somewhere else. What are your thoughts on that, Carson, on the Ponatowski kid?
I'm more worried. I'm not worried about him going somewhere else. I'm more worried about the MLB draft. Yeah. Is what I'm more worried about in that situation.
Isn't that would be before football season, wouldn't it be? Don't think he doesn't hit for much power. I don't.
Yeah, but he throws for 98 across the middle of the infield, and
so he's a shortstop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. He just, for his frame, he should be hitting for more power, I think. You know what I mean? Sue me.
Hey, Moneyball, get on base, baby. All you gotta do is get on base.
Speaking of Moneyball, the Reds play the A's tonight. They're a game and a half in the playoffs somehow. Did you know that? You know they're back to a game and a half out?
Oh, get excited again.
No, I'm not going to do it to myself. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to enjoy the baseball games, and whatever happens, happens. And I will not cry myself to sleep if it doesn't work out. I won't do it. But something to monitor. But they play the A's this weekend. So nice. That's why the Moneyball run.
They stink, so hopefully they get it done.
Hopefully it's a big. And then the Mets play the Rangers, pretty good baseball team. If we take 2 or 3, they lose 2 or 3. That would be ideal. Or we'll sweep and they get swept and we're in the playoffs. Hey, that'd be even better.
Catch me at Great American.
Shoo, you want to talk about? I mean, I don't care what the number is. I'll be in that ballpark. Don't care. I will
make it back at Hard Rock afterwards anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. But I don't know. I think I just telling you, the whole isn't Ohio State making a push, like a small push.
No, I haven't seen any of that.
There was he had his high school game on Saturday, and I think it's
he's looked really good, by the way.
Yeah, and I think it was Zach Gagan that was there, our buddy over at KSR, and he I think that I saw a video saying like Ohio State is making a little bit of a push, and I'm sorry, I'll say this, and we deserve to have this said about us. If I'm that kid, what the hell are you doing, man? Now, the only thing I could say is if I was him, I'd stay in the SEC. And the reason I say that is because of the baseball side of it. I would not want to play baseball at Ohio State. If I'm this kid and I truly want to make a run at this whole two-sport thing, I would want to stay in the SEC. But I just at the end of the day, man, what have we done to prove to quarterback recruits that they should stick around? You know what I mean? And I mean, and I'm saying this not obviously it's negative, but I'm saying it more to be like let's figure this out. Let's start developing quarterbacks. Because if I'm that kid, why the heck are you coming here, man? It's probably a mistake, realistically. And I hate to say that. But the point is, we need to prove we can develop quarterback talent. And I think that Mr. Boley finishing out the year strong is a way we could do that. And that's great. We haven't had a way we could do that. Because, I mean, it's hard to say, well, we developed Zach Calzada in his 18th year of college football. Like, you can't really say that. So I think this is an opportunity for us to hang on to this recruit if Boley comes out and is strong and this kid goes, oh, okay, I'll sit behind Boley for a year, and then it's my time to shine. So, but I'm just telling you, I'm a little more worried than I think most are about us holding on to that kid. Partially for the MLB draft, you're right, but also partially for the if he goes somewhere else. But also in the NIL era of baseball, Carson, I think that these kids, for on the baseball side of it, I don't know why you would go pro out of high school unless you're a first-round pick. Because think about it. If you're an out-of-high school kid going pro, you're going to go sit in single A forever. This could – and normally, sometimes we see the kids that have played SEC ball get boosted straight. They're starting double A or whatever. You know what I mean? And it saves you those 2 or 3 steps before you have to move up. So it's like – and you can be making better money. Think about if baseball was his route – and he was a quarterback at Kentucky, and then he went the baseball route, think about how much money he can make NIL-wise.
That's what I was thinking. Like the NIL plus on top of it's going to be huge.
Yeah. So that's the only thing. If I was that kid and I think that I could be the starting quarterback for Kentucky for 3 years and then be a professional baseball player, I would do that because you would get $1 million in NIL money every year probably, or, $700,000. That's a lot more than you're going to be making playing for the Saratoga Stingers or what, you know what I mean? I mean, like, that's just the reality. I mean,
the Lexington Legends.
Exactly. So, yeah, but I want to see Cutter Boley play well in this game. I want to blow this spread out of the water on Saturday. That's what I want to see. And then after that, we got to find a way to win an SEC game. Thoughts on all that?
Yeah. You got a score prediction? We're going to do our predictions?
Yeah. I do think, I don't know how much Stoops, is he going to show a spread? But I mean, do you agree with me? If it was any other team in the SEC, this spread
it'd be over 40. Yeah.
Okay. If I'm Stoops, I'm bulletin boarding that and saying they have no respect for us. Go show them something. That's what I would do. And I think that we're going to cover. I think our defense is really good. I think we're going to win this one. I'm just going to. It's like my mind is telling me, don't be stupid. We're not going to score that many points, but screw it. I'll go 42-10. We beat them.
Okay.
That'd be a 32-point win. We'd cover that spread.
Yeah. I was going to do 45-10. So we were right around the same area. I just think it feels about right.
Yeah. There you go. So, all right. Well, Carson, you got anything else before we call it a day here?
That's all I got. Hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Go to the Kentucky game or go to the Center game. Either one, But go Cats, go Colonels. Hope everyone enjoys their weekend.
Hope everyone has a great weekend. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate that. Oh, last thing, Big Blue Madness is on Saturday the 11th, which was very surprising to me, by the way. But I was also happy because remember what you and I talked about. We're going to see our buddy RJ get married on the 18th, or 17th.
And we thought that it was going to be that day.
And we thought it would be that Friday. So it's perfect. That's what we call the old win-win. So Big Blue Matters on the 11th. You'll see Carson and I there, rowdy. So hit that subscribe button for us if you haven't already. We would really appreciate that. Hope everyone has an exceptional weekend. Watch the Cats play football. Watch some college football. We'll see you next time right here on the Wildcats Today Podcast.